Okay, we're going to talk about sets in Python. But first, in order to understand that, you got to understand what a set is in mathematics. Okay, don't worry, this is just basic secondary school mathematics. Okay, we have a set, for example, set S is equal to elements, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we have a set, for example, T is equal to 3 and 4. Now notice that the 3 and the 4 are in both sets. Okay? So we can say that the set T is a subset of S. All right? Now, another way to depict that, it's called a Venn diagram. Let's draw a circle here. It's called a Venn diagram. We have the set S and the set T. Right? Okay. Over here, we have between S and T. Okay, S has 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. T has 3 and 4. So this area in here is called the intersection of S and T, which you usually write like this. This is the intersection of S and T. All right? So 3 and 4 is subset. T is subset of S. That means all the elements in T are in S. Okay? S is a superset. Superset of T, going this way. Because it contains T. It contains the 3 and the 4, plus some other stuff. Okay, to repeat. S contains the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T contains the elements 3 and 4. The intersection of S and T are the elements that are in both sets. This is called the intersection, which we have written in the way you would write it in school math is like this. S, T, the intersection. Okay, now T is a subset of S because everything in T is in S. And then S is a superset of T because S contains everything in T. All right, let's continue with this. Okay, let's call this set a superset. Now, here's a little bit of difference between mathematics and Python. Notice that I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, the definition of a set in Python is it has unique elements. So if I now say, what is in superset? It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. See that? You can only have 1, 3. All right, now let's make a set called the subset. All right. One, 2, and 3. Now, based on what we just looked at, subset is a subset of the superset. Why? Because it contains these three elements, 1, 2, and 3. All right? And the way you write that is, well, for example, we can do this. We can say, we can ask, you know, this superset here, is it a superset of this subset? All right? It is. All right? Now, some of this might seem a little bit abstract, but you'll figure out how to use it in your Python coding as you do more Python coding. For example here, this can be quite useful. Let's figure out what the intersection is between the subset and the superset. Remember the Venn diagram? This will give us the common elements. Here they are, 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Now we can do different things for sets. Like for example, we can say what is the difference? What is in the superset that's not contained in the subset? Well, you can see there's a 4, right? This has a 4. This does not have a 4. So if we ask it here, it says 4. By the way, this is a set, right? It's got the brackets around it. Okay, we can add elements to it as well. Just by using the add operation. You know, what is superset now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. All right. Now let's talk about tuples. Okay. Let's clean up our screen here a little bit. Okay, a tuple is kind of like a list, but it's not a list because it's got properties that the list doesn't have. It makes it useful for doing certain things. Okay, for example, we can have this. Here's a tuple, call it T. Just looks like a list, right? It's got certain properties, like for example, you know, we can access the elements just like you would in a list by subscript. All right. With tuples, we can do slicing operations. So here we say we want to take every element that's greater than or equal to 0 and strictly less than 4. So it does include 4. So it's T0, which is 1, T1, which is 2, T3, okay, and then which is 4, and then we stop there. All right? Okay, we can put a step indicator, which is be the third thing. So we say just pick everything at multiples of 2, even numbers. So, well, odd numbers because the first one is 0, and then 2, and then 5, 7. Okay? If we put, for example, this, leave it off, run again. Okay, that means, you know, get everything. Because we start at 0. We can also say it like this. Get everything. Or we can say start at 3, go to the end. We can also use range delimiters like this, for example. This means start from the third element and stop it at 1 before the end, right? So it starts here, 0, 1, 2, 3, goes all the way up to the 8. Now, you reference elements in a set as you would elements in a list with this array index, you want to call it. Now, a set is said to be immutable. That means we cannot change values in a set. Immutable is something you'll see a lot. Okay, tuple does not support item assignment. Right? Okay, we can concatenate elements, but we have to have at least two elements in order to make a tuple. Right? You can't just say this. You can't say, t plus some number. That'll throw an error. But you can say t plus a tuple, like this. Because this is a tuple. T plus an integer. That's not a valid operation. You can't add an integer and a tuple. But you can add a tuple and a tuple. Right?